Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th round of the GTRC Polyphony Digital Drivers Trophy. And to compensate for last week, starting halfway through qualifying, we're starting right away this time round before qualifying even starts. Let's talk about how the championship is going along. So this is round 6 of the series, so not long left to go. And last week saw the return of Sam Silsler and a couple of new race winners, I believe. And I believe I've spelt Trial Mountain wrong in the title. So that's always a good place to start, isn't it? Yeah, I put Trial Mousntain. It's helpful. But yeah, we're back better than ever before. Obviously, Polyphony Digital Trophy. And while we're waiting for the race start to go while we're waiting for the race start to go ahead, let's talk about new driver on the grid, L Couch driver. His name is Luke. We're just going to call him Couch because we've already got another Luke on the grid and we don't know his last name, so we're going to call him Couch. So that's Couch is the new driver on the grid. He is racing in the Toyota Supra, but we'll talk about the championship next. And championship order has relatively stayed the same up top. It is Jake Witchell still leading with 292 points. Will Sutters now is in second, 246 points, and then it's Dominic Kabinski falling just behind Will Sutters with 235 points. And we should be getting started soon, I think. Fourth place goes to Luke Clark in the McLaren's 205 points. And then Ruben Thorejo, his teammate, 185 points. Just 1 point ahead of Adam Hands, who is here tonight as well. And then a return tonight is Tyler Davison, who's just behind them on 156 points, equal with Stein Van's Hart. And Stein is just ahead of his teammate, 140 points for Schultz Langstadler. Team Championship now, though, it is still Team Spirit leading, 527 points for the Honda team. But it's followed by LCR, not too close behind, 390 points for the McLaren drivers. And then 515 Motorsports has 347 points in third place. Project One occupies fourth place at 296 points. And Nova Motorsports 243 points. Just behind them, JTB 209 points. Haven't had Jake Burke with that team for a while. And Ray Racing 108 points in stone dead last. But we're finally getting away for qualifying, and what better way to start than by looking at the man up front, the man who has very good pace tonight. I think it's fair to say, one of the first times for a while. So, could we maybe see a Chubbs win, finally? It's always on the card, it's always the question in this league. Can we see a Chubbs win? Only one way to find out. Let's watch him on his outlap. And tonight, track is Trial Mountain, spelt wrong in the title, but we are racing at Trial Mountain tonight. Another Gran Turismo classic, this time redesigned significantly for the new game, and someone's not out in qualifying, that's Tyler. But yeah, redesigned with longer straights, wider corners, all that jazz. Chubbs is just going on for his first lap of the night on his outlap, and we'll go through the track when he finally gets on to his outlap, or when he gets onto his fast lap. Very nice flow to this whole circuit, as you can tell. You're using all the curbs. Doesn't seem like he's lifting off, so he will be the first one to set a lap. Will he be the first one on track? He rides it through the final corner, and here we go, on for the first flying lap of the night. Che Easton is your driver, on board with him now as we go down the start-finish straight up to the first corner, which is an uphill left-hander, very deceptive one as it leads straight onto a right-hander. You do need to dab on the brake a little bit as he comes up, 250 kilometers per hour, and then it's brake, hitting the apex, and then second apex over the hill again, and then it's another left-hander, just wants to lift off a little bit. There we go, there's the lift. Slightly wide there all over the grass, and then it's through the tunnel, heavy braking. It's kind of a mid to late apex, and then it's back on the throttle on the exit, and then straight back down to the braking once you see that yellow sign on the left. try not to clip that inside bank, and he's done a good job there, all over the curb on the exit. And then again, another very nice medium speed corner. You just want to get a mid apex there, and he's done a good job there. Through another tunnel, and then it's a downhill left-hander. Try not to get the tyres too dirty all over those leaves, not that it makes much of a difference anyway. And then it's through the final tunnel of the circuit, and it's the longest tunnel of the circuit, as it's down the back straight, the longest straight on the circuit as well, might I add. And it's up over the hill, and then you come back down to the fast left-hander that's slightly banked. So it's one of the best flowing corners in the game. In the old Gran Turismos, there used to be a very tall tree in the background of this corner, but he gets that one done quite nicely, all over the curb on the apex. And then it's these really fast, flat-out corners, and then it's straight over the crest into the braking for this next right-hander. Heavy braking just over that crest, and then another crest as you want to brake just as the road levels itself out there. He's taken that one quite nicely. You don't need to take too much of that curb, and then it's back flat out on the throttle for the final two corners, which is a very difficult chicane. The line varies very much depending on who's taking the chicane, but the fastest line is the one that Chubbs is taking here. He's done a good job, doesn't lose traction on the exit. This is going to be a nice lap. First lap of the day for Che Easton. And immediately he sets a 150.3. But he's beaten by Jake Witchell. I thought he was missing out a little bit there on certain parts of that lap, but Jake Witchell now has provisional pole, 149.8. Luke Clark has gone third with 151 dead. Adam Hans in fourth, Ruben Thorejo fifth. Dominic Kavinsky is currently rounding out the top six. Diamond Hart, though, good job from him moving up into the top seven, as well as Yannick de Kuiper off the back of his first podium last week. He's gotten himself into 8th place. Not too bad from him whatsoever. Oh, Will Sutters with a nice move there, up to P3, 150.4. So the gaps in qualifying at the moment are very, very large, but give it a little bit more time, they will close right back up. But it is the usual suspects up in that top six. You've got the LCR team, Team Spirit, and 515, with the little addition of Adam Hans for JTB, doing a good job as ever. But obviously, once again, the sole JTB driver, as he has been for the majority of this season, unfortunately. Not really too sure what happened to Jake Burke. Well, we do know what's happened to Jake Birkenhead. He's found pastures anew, started racing on iRacing lately, and we're finding that much more fun, so why should you? But Adam Hans is currently improving in the orange Honda NSX. This goes down the hill, and then as it flattens out, you get hard on the brakes, and he's done a very nice job of that corner, nice, neat and tidy. We haven't seen anyone take any of these corners too aggressively, which is what you want to do. Hard on the brakes once more. And once again, yeah, you see, you just take that first section quite slow so you get a good exit for the final one, because the speed on this straight is far more important than the speed you get through the first bit of that corner. And Che Easton improves, but it's only P2 still. Adam Hans improves, and that is P4. So, yep, good improvement from him. Couch improves, Clark also improves. Them two working together, obviously them two friends. Clark was the one who brought Couch into this league. Yannick de Kuiper, what a move from Yannick up into the top four. So that podium last week has really brought in some kind of fire for Yannick, because he is up into 4th place now. Oh, and the spin from Stein up in front, but he just manages to avoid it there. Sorry, but not all my liveries are actually loading tonight, because I've just seen Stein and Yannick aren't in the right livery, but Tyler there, P4. So Tyler also making the improvement, but this is shown to be, time-wise, not really the closest grid, but a lot of cars up there. Yeah, Stein's not in. Yeah, the livery is not loaded for a lot of the drivers here, actually, so I'm very, very sorry. Usually they would be using custom liveries. But I think it's got something to do with the fact that I've run out of storage on my on Gran Turismo, so I hope it doesn't cause any bigger issues. We'll just watch Dominic Kabinski for a sec. He seems to be a bit out of position at the moment. We'll see if he's improving at all on his lap time, because you do usually expect him to be a bit further up the grid. He's not, 3/10 down. So Dominic Kabinski really struggling with this circuit. Ruben Thorejo and Luke Clark both very much there, 7th and 8th. Doesn't seem like this is really quite the track for McLaren. Certainly was beforehand, but now does not appear to be that way. Anyone on a lap? Jake Witchell was just starting one off. So we'll watch Jake Witchell for this one. He's done a very nice job through those first few corners. This Honda obviously not as strong as it used to be earlier on in this season. But Jake Witchell still finding all the pace he needs out of the car. But we've gotten used to that gap between first and second whenever he's in first being a lot bigger than it is. That Supra has found some insane pace after the last update. Tyler Davison just displaying that as well, setting another fast lap for P4. But even Yannick up there in P5 really displays that that Supra is the next car to beat. And this happens in racing. One car doesn't say the best forever. Just coming up through the tunnel, and then it's back out again. There's a bear on the right. If you stop in replay mode and have a look, he's done a nice job there. He's back on the throttle. It's back uphill. Now, I love these corners. These corners are the most fun on the circuit, in my opinion. But I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this track. I never have been. I don't really get along with it too well. It's got a nice flow to it. It's just to eke out all the time you need. I mean, first of all, you need to be on wheel to get the ultimate time around here, and I'm not. So I'm not going to make anything up. It's just, it is what it is. He takes those nicely. It's flat out up against the wall. Do need to be careful on that one, because if you accelerate a bit too early over the apex, you will slam into that wall, and that's another improvement for Che Easton, not one for Jake Witchell. But what about Will Sutters? We'll just watch him now. Is Will Sutters on for an improvement? He's certainly not far off of Jake Witchell, but I mean, there's just over a tenth between the top three, and Tyler Davison, how far is he off? Tyler Davison's quite far off, so Will Sutters is currently improving. It'll be enough to take provisional pole. Tyler improved once more. Sam Siltala also improves. But the man we're watching right now is Will Sutters. Will he take provisional pole, which at this stage could very much well be pole? This is his last lap, and this is his last chance to do it. Down to the line, it's foot flat to the floor. And it is pole position for Will Sutters, 49.8. Can Che Easton retaliate in any way? Can Che Easton or Jake Witchell or anyone beat that pole position time of 49.8? That's the fastest we've seen tonight. Will Sutters obviously off of the back of a race win last week. I believe he won. Could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he won last week. I have a very short memory, you see. Very short memory. Che Easton now is just coming through the final corners. Jake Witchell will not improve. You just see him in the background with a penalty there, but can Che Easton take away pole? It's looking less and less likely, but is he going to do it? No, not quite. Half a second off his personal best. Jake Witchell obviously served that penalty. Who's the next on track? It is Luke Clark. Is he going to make any indent on the leaders? He does, but it's not quite enough. Still behind Tyler Davison. Adam Hans, we just saw, had a penalty. Anyone else on track? Adam Hans, yeah. Ruben Thorejo. Dominic Kubinski now coming over. Can he pull himself into the top 8 maybe? Not quite. Dominic Kubinski really struggling with this one, but he's just been jumped by Stijn Ter Haar there at the very break. And can Jolt Langstadler do the same? He can. Jolt Langstadler up into the top 8. Good job from the Hungarian. But I think the big part of tonight is Dominic Kubinski is way out of position there. Very, very out of position for Dominic Kubinski. There you are, your pole sitter tonight, Will Sutters, for a solid, solid lap. Only man into the 1:49.8. just ahead of Jake Witchell, and then Will's teammate Che Easton. Tyler Davison occupies P4 with Luke Clark P5, and then it's Adam Hans P6, Yannick de Kuiper P7, and Sheldon Langstadler in P8. Further down the grid, we have Ruben Thorejo in 9th, so not the best qualifying from the McLaren driver, but I'm sure he'll be fine nonetheless. Stein van der Hart in P10, just jumping Dominic Kubinski, who's very, very out of position at this stage tonight. Couch, our new driver tonight, Luke, he is starting 12th, and then Sam Siltala in dead last. Remember, there are 13 drivers tonight, and the grid for the next race will be set by the top 12. Which is the first time that that's happened. Well, one of the first times that's happened this series, because we haven't had more than 12 drivers, so it's good to see this many cars on track tonight. Here we are for the first race of the night. This race is set by the normal starting grid procedure, you want whatever, false start check, set by qualifying. Let's go. Will Sutters is the man to watch off of this start, but look in the background, there is a McLaren just 2 rows behind him. Will that McLaren jump in? 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and we are away. And Jay Witchell did look like he had to jump there, but the launch of that car isn't good enough, and here comes Luke Clark already. That was Luke Clark. I don't know which McLaren it was, but it was Luke Clark, and Will Sutters is going defensive on that McLaren, but Luke tries around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? Luke Clark around the outside takes the lead of the race. What a move from the McLaren driver, and so does Che Easton on his own teammate, trying to make the move there, but Easton misses out this time round. They're still side by side in the background, and Easton has to back out. Now Davison takes Easton. Is Davison going to go for the move on Sutters? Ooh, he certainly looked like he had his nose there. Witchell and Easton both battling hard side by side now. Witchell, he's starting on the mediums on this time round. Witchell does have double mediums. He did win a race last week, so he will have to use the mediums twice tonight, and he's already under pressure from his fellow McLaren or Honda driver in Adam Hans. So Witchell losing positions off of this one, started second, now in 6th. But Luke Clark with the amazing start from that McLaren all the way up into first now. Just 4 tenths ahead of Sutters, but Sutters I'm sure will not stay there for long. Will Sutters has got serious pace tonight, but he's got Tyler Davison to contend with behind him. So anything can happen now. But it is Luke still leading, but the gap has come down massively between the two. Will is already on his rear bumper. It's only a matter of time before Will gets the chance to make that move. Oh, all over the exit does Luke Clark there. Just about keeping it out of the pits there. Good save. Good save. That car looks like an absolute handful tonight, and he's on the grass. What has happened to Luke Clark? Oh, he might be having lag there. I think that might be lag. But now Tyler Davison is the leader. We're not sure what happened to Will Sutters there. Tyler Davison is now the race leader. Luke Clark having some kind of lag issues. In the background, we see the 2515 cars battling. Che Easton just ahead of Will Sutters, and Will letting that one go. Easton now ahead of Sutters, and what are these two doing? Tyler goes wide there. Oh, what is going... Yeah, this... some kind of lagging stuff going on there with Luke Clark, but we'll try to ignore that. Samuel, thank you for the comment. I do try my best. I do end up losing my voice after this, and I have to go to work in about an hour, so I always lose my voice after doing this, which is never great for work, but yeah, I try my best. So yeah, Tyler Davison is now the race leader. It's one Supra for another. Will Sutters still up there and thereabout, and then it is all kinds of carnage behind them. Che Easton just ahead of Adam Hans, so Luke Clark is losing ground. He's just lost out to Jake Witchell there. But Luke is now rejoined with his Spaniard teammate, and we've got 2 slipstream trains going on now. Ruben Thorejo pushing his teammate along. 3 wide into the next corner. Who's going to be the bravest? And it is Che Easton who leads out, but it's Jake Witchell still in tow, and this is giving Tyler Davison and Will Sutters a great chance of pulling away. Che Easton doing a very good job right now, holding that position. Obviously Witchell is on the mediums, so Easton probably knows that. No, he doesn't have to fight too hard. Who is on the mediums, might I add? Front 3's on softs, Witchell's on mediums, and so is Thorejo. Obviously Thorejo won a race last week, did he? Not too sure actually. I don't know why Thorejo's on mediums. It's an interesting strategy for the first race. Oh, so is Kubinski. Kaminsky is also on mediums. Quite a lot of drivers are on mediums, fair enough. Fair enough. Shows how much I know, but we're back up to the front now with Tyler Davison, who's just set the new fastest lap of the race, or said that, but Will Sutter's just beat it. And Tyler Davison's picked himself up a penalty there for good measure, so I had a feeling he was cutting that one a bit too close on some of the earlier laps, and that time he's cut it way too close. Tyler Davison with a half-second penalty. So that will bring Will Sutters probably ahead of him by the time he serves that penalty. I believe the penalty line is just before the start-finish line. It's quite a costly one, so Tyler should be able to keep this lead up until the end of the lap. He's pulling out a bigger gap between him and Sutters. So Tyler has found some kind of pace after qualifying, which is good stuff from the Repsol Supra driver. Saying that Sutters has caught up massively down that straight, and now Sutters is not waiting. Is he waiting for the penalty line? Is he going to go for the move now? He's being patient. He knows he's got nothing to risk. Should not slow himself down when he knows that he can make that move later on when Tyler is forced to slow down for that penalty. All this is doing is bringing in Sutters' teammate, and you might think that's a good idea for Will Sutters and for the 515 team, but I reckon they're going to fight, and all contact there on the exit between Tyler and Will. All kinds of squirrely there. So Will has made the move. Tiny bit of contact on the exit. Sutters. Oh, Tyler feigning a move there. Not quite, but Tyler did feign a move. But there we go. We'll see him serve his penalty now, and this is where the 515 drivers will both pull away. The question is, will Che Easton have a chance at combating Will Sutters? I know Chubbs is not looking to stay around for too long. He's just set new fastest lap of the race, but he's not looking to stick around too long behind Will. So it's push, push, push for the Southerner as he tries to catch up to Will. In the background there, Jake Witchell's also picked himself up a penalty, so this circuit quite penalty prone for the drivers tonight, I think it's fair to say. Witchell doing his best to keep up with Davison, see on different tyre compounds, and Clark has found his way up to P5 once more. He was down in 6th at one point, but he's up in 5th. He has unfortunately left his teammate behind. His teammate, who is, by the looks of it, going to be under pressure from the Nuki, it's Couch, and Kaminsky is currently giving Couch a run for his money as well, but there he is. Kaminsky on the medium tyres, just ahead of Steinman to Hart. We'll look back up, and yep, the order is the same up front. Gaps have stayed pretty much similar. I'd say the gap is closing tiny bit between, well, saying that, at the moment I say that, Sutters pulled out a little bit more of a gap, but it's relatively balanced between the two 515 drivers tonight. And that's what they want to see, really, because they've got a chance, you know, providing that Kaminsky keeps having his poor races and Witchell gets tangled up as he is now, they have a chance to catch up to Team Spirit in the Constructors. And as the boss of Team Spirit, I don't want that to happen, but from a competitive point of view, that would be good to see. Certainly puts them under a bit of pressure. But yeah, Easton did set the new fastest lap with 49.6, so I thought Easton was catching a little bit, and he is. He's going for it. Easton is not sticking around. Is Sutters going to pull out a bit more time now? Well, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, Sutters pulling out a bit more time now. Seems like Easton is not going to have an easy time catching him. Ooh, in the wall there. Now Easton does have a very nice chance there. Sutters just clipped the entrance of the tunnel there. The tunnel itself, should I say. Saw the dirt kicked up behind him, and now Easton is all over the back of him. Is Che Easton going to be able to make a move? Here he is. He's gone for the inside. Just has to brake later than Will, and he's got that inside line all to himself. Oh, he's braked late, but is it too late? Sutters slots in behind him, and they're still side by side going back up the hill now. It is Easton the one that's leading, and Sutters just has to slot in behind him as they go over the crest and into the braking here. Che Easton is now the new race leader, just ahead of Will Sutters. So two teammates fighting, making it fair for each other. And this time round, it is Che Easton who comes out on top. Sutters is still very much there and can mount a counter-attack. Is he going to do it into this corner? He's got the chance. He feigned the move there, but did Easton fall for it? He did not. Easton's smarter than that. Despite spinning every week, Easton is smarter than that. Sutters has got prime opportunity now to make the move. Easton's left the inside open. Sutters has gone for that inside. Is Easton going to be able to hold it around the outside going into turn one? It will turn into the inside for turn two, but Sutters just makes that one look easy before the corner even really starts, and Easton really cut that one close there. But yeah, before the corner even really started, Will Sutters took back the race lead. This is a close fight between the two 515 teammates. Sutters going defensive there. Easton took that outside line, but what this is doing is it's bringing Tyler Davison back into this lead fight. Lovely bit of fighting between the two super drivers, and two might become three in maybe even a lap's time, as Tyler Davison will have the chance to catch these two. And they surely know that, but I don't think Easton cares. Easton will fight as hard as Will pushes him. Goes for the inside again. Thought he would. Very late inside for Che Easton. Sutters definitely thought about the switchback there, but Easton covered that well, and sliding on the exit for Will Sutters. And now Tyler Davison is really, really close to these two. So this has become a three-way fight for the lead now. Two 515 drivers and one Repsol driver who's going to come out on top. Sutters again goes down the inside. He knows that Tyler Davison's there, and he knows that if he can pull ahead of Chubbs, he may have a bit more pace, but Easton's now being taken by Tyler Davison. Tyler Davison goes for the inside on Will Sutters. It was three wide momentarily there, but Chubbs takes the lead once more. Tyler Davison just in second. It's now Che Easton leading. Tyler Davison in second. Will Sutters in third. Davison now has the chance to take the race lead. He took one move there when it was three wide going into the chicane. Is he going to go for the overtake into turn one? He definitely takes the outside, but Chubbs covers it well. Davison being patient. Sutters also being patient behind Davison. Sutters is going to try any opportunity he can to keep in touch with his teammate. Davison fell back a little bit there through those first few corners, and now it is Sutters who will have the best chance of making an overtake the soonest. Where will he pick it? Probably at the end of the back straight. That is the best place to go for a move, especially in this scenario. Easton is pulling away though. This is working out perfectly for Che Easton. It seems that Easton has some kind of hidden pace that we haven't seen in qualifying, but he's just showing it now. Fastest lap of the race obviously earlier, and he is really, really pushing. But saying that, he made a mistake going through that corner. Now Davison has the chance to catch once more, and catching he is. Faster and faster he goes down that straight using the slipstream. Sutters just behind with the double slipstream, but it's not going to be enough. Easton covers the inside line. He's not leaving up a single inch of space, and now Davison goes for the outside. Is he going to hold it round the outside? Round the outside. Oh, it's not going to be close. Oh, it is going to be close, but it's not going to be enough. Sutters pushed Davison there to overtake his teammate, but Davison's pulled out of that one. He knows that would be a risky one, but interesting there. Sutters fighting against his own teammate, even when there's another car also fighting against him. Maybe they know that Easton does have pace around here. We're just about to go on to the 8th lap now, so not long left to go. It's a three-way fight for the lead. All Toyota Supra tonight. But it's Che Easton who is the lead of those three cars. And he's just trying to break the toe down the straight. Tyler Davison not following it too aggressively. He knows he doesn't have to. Up further back in the grid, Dominic Kabinski did enter the top 8 at some point during that. So he's moving his way up the grid. I believe Jake Witchell may be finding himself in a battle with Luke Clark, as he does every week. But we're still going to keep an eye on these three unless Chubbs can somehow pull away. Chubbs certainly seems to have the pace for this one. He is going purple now. Could this be Che Easton's first chance of victory this season? Well, not his first chance, but his chance at his first victory tonight. Once again, though, he was really slow through that downhill left-hander. It seems that Tyler Davison has the edge on him there. And once again, Che Easton having to go defensive. Of all the corners you could be slow at, that is the one you don't want to be slow at, because you give massive advantage to the car behind to get a huge slipstream slingshot. But it seems like Tyler Davison once again going for the outside. Has he braked too late this time? It certainly looked like he did. Braked too late and just wasn't even competing on the exit that corner. So Che Easton defending very well. He understands where the overtaking point is, and he understands that he needs to cover that inside like his life depends on it. But Will Sutters, Easton's teammate, just sitting back behind, knowing that any of these two make a mistake, that is Will Sutters for the race lead. So he's got time and he's got the opportunity to be patient. Just at the end of lap 8 now, going through the final two corners. This is one of the closest fights for a race lead we have had in a long time. Slide on the exit there for Che Easton, and that has cost him a little bit. But Che is confident he doesn't need to cover that inside line. Certainly Tyler is not caught up enough. Back through there over the dips and gullies, I think that's the term. Tyler just positioning his car to the inside, I think defending against Will Sutters that time round, which is great news for Che Easton. It means that the more those two fight, the more chance he has to pull away, and I think that's why Will Sutters isn't trying to fight him. It's a very strategic game, this. Every three-way battle is strategic, but I'm sure this time next lap all three of them will be balls to the wall, because that will be their last lap. We are on the penultimate lap now. It looks like Easton got that corner a bit better than usual, but still losing time due to the slipstream from Davison and potentially Sutters pushing him. Certainly Sutters is not fighting him too hard anymore. Easton not giving up that inside. Davison back out to the outside, and Easton can do what he wants, pushes his way out, but through goes Sutters ahead of Davison there. So now Will Sutters is up into P2, and he has the chance now to overtake his teammate for the lead. Just has to wait a couple more corners and he'll have an entire lap between him and his teammates. Davison made a big mistake there, way too wide of the exit of that corner, and now it is Easton v Sutters once again. Dominic Kabinski has overtaken Ruben Thorejo in the background. If you look on the left hand side, so has Luke Clark, overtaken Jake Witchell. But the race leader going now on to the final lap. We are through the final corner of the penultimate lap, and it is last lap battle between these three. Will Sutters positioning himself perfectly. He got a very nice exit onto this straight, and Easton has got to do everything he can to hold that position. He's done a good job defending so far. Can he carry it on, especially with his own teammate? I think it's going to get a little bit tense between these two. We're through the first couple corners for the last time. It's Easton still. The gap is getting smaller and smaller. Easton still with that fastest lap, but he hasn't really managed to match that time for a while. Sutters has fallen back a little bit there in that first sector. All Easton needs to do is perfect this corner. He's been getting it wrong every single time. Can he get it right this time? Oh, it doesn't look good for Che Easton. He goes wide at the apex, and that gives Will Sutters the perfect chance to make the move, but Easton knows how to defend this corner. Sutters has seen how Easton defends it, though. He might know a way to combat it there. Side by side, going down the back straight, up to the best overtaking point of the circuit, best overtaking point for the rest of the race, and Easton goes down the inside. He knows the inside is the line he wants. He blocks Sutters on the exit. Sutters, though, gets the switch back. Sutters is back ahead. Easton has to go for something bold, something crazy, but he's not going to get the chance through this corner. Easton has just missed out on what could be his first race win of the season. Sutters pulls ahead, and the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Easton's got one last chance. It's into this chicane, but don't count out Tyler Davison. If these two do something stupid, it is Tyler Davison who benefits from it. Tyler's going on Easton. Tyler's going on Easton, and there's contact between Easton and Sutters. But in the end, after all of that battling, it is Will Sutters who takes the lead and takes the win for the first race of the night. Very close fighting between the three of them. His teammate just behind him. It's a 5-1-5-1-2, but not the order that Easton would have wanted. Tyler Davison in P3. Luke Clark in a different world behind them two, or them three. Jake Witchell as well. Adam Hans P6. Dominic Kaminsky comes home for P7, which is not a bad race considering he started 11th, 12th almost. Steinman to Hart, P8, Couch P9 on his debut, 10th for Ruben Thorejo, 11th for Joel Langstadler, and then it's Silsalar in 12th, just ahead of Yannick de Kuiper in last place. But what a race for the lead that was. I've completely lost my voice from that one, but what a win from Will Sutters. Really well fought that time round. Che Easton gave it everything he could until the very last second, and it was just one mistake in the corner that he'd struggled with the whole night gave Sutters the chance that he needed. So super unlucky for Che Easton, but in the end it was Will Sutters who was just number one in that one, and there's no avoiding it whatsoever. So fantastic race between the top three there. Oh dear. And now I need a breather because my voice is fully gone. There is your finishing order. Will Sutters, winner of race 1, and pole position sitter, of course. But Che Easton gave him a serious run for his money there, especially with the fastest lap. Tyler Davison as well was well in that. Had Tyler not got that penalty, you'd think that that race would have been a lot closer for the entirety of its course. But Tyler finishes third, and then almost in a different league ahead, those three were, because 7 seconds behind the leader was Luke Clark, just edging out Jake Witchell on that time. Adam Hans a bit in no man's land, unfortunately, but he finishes P6, which is not bad. Dominic Kabinski, P7, good recovery from an 11th place start, especially on the medium tyres. And then Steinman to Hart in P8. Couch on his debut with a P9, not a bad result whatsoever. It can only go up from here, that is all that means. Ruben Thorejo with a rather quiet race, finishes P10. And Jolt Langstadler, P11, Sam Siltalar, P12, and Yannick de Kuiper in P13. Which means that Sam will be the pole sitter for the next race. It seemed like Sam and Yannick had a close race there. They're both congratulating each other. Oh dear, I've fully lost my voice there. Well, I haven't, but throat hurts. And in usual circumstances, I would 1,000,000% interview those three, but I've worked tonight, so I'm really sorry, guys. I'm as disappointed as you might be. But yeah, what a race. What a race went until the very end there. And it was Will Sutters that came out on top, the last real overtaking point of the circuit. Great job from the reigning champion. Nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. It's an all-Brit top 6. Not the first time that's happened. Certainly won't be the last time. A grid, mostly of British drivers, I believe. There is 7 of them on this grid. Yep, 7. But yeah, anyone who's watching who isn't the drivers, if you enjoyed that battle, get used to it. That happens a lot. You know, subscribe to the channel, and you'll see the notification for when the next one happens, this time next week. So Super had to restart his game, that's why he left the lobby, if anyone saw that. But yeah, this action happens every single week, multiple times a week, well, multiple times a night. And obviously, if this does interest you, you could become a driver as well. I believe we always have positions going free. But if that's not your style, obviously I used to be a driver in this, but I stopped driving to start commentating, so I fully understand it. The stream's always here to watch. That's why I do it. It's nice to see the uptick on form that the Toyota Supra now has. much quicker than it used to be. Got to say, it is very nice to see. I believe my liveries might have loaded now. It's difficult to tell from within the cockpit. Yeah, the liveries have loaded. Have they? Well, I'm not too sure. Let's say they have. Let's say they've loaded and hope that's the truth. There you go, reigning champion and reigning race winner. If that's how it works. Obviously, winner tonight, but I believe he won a race last week as well. Potentially, maybe. I think he won one last week, which means he's on mediums for the rest of the night. So maybe the only race win we'll see from Will tonight, but you can never write these things. People have won from or on mediums against soft drivers before. Jake Witchell was one that immediately springs to mind. I think that's a big question as well. Witchell will be on the softs in this race, so can he win? Be interesting to tell, but as always, the grid tonight is the top 12 reversed. It will be the last standing start race of the night, and then there'll be a rolling start for the third one. Should be a reverse of this next race coming up. One exciting night of racing this has been so far. Don't go anywhere, we are due to get going again soon. You've had quite a lot of delays tonight, which I'm hoping that won't spell any issues. Should be getting going soon. Have the liveries loaded? They have. So Super obviously using a special livery tonight to commemorate the Philadelphia Eagles' latest Super Bowl victory, which was an absolute domination show from the Eagles. Can't remember the score in the end, but it was never even close between the Chiefs and the Eagles. So congratulations obviously to Super, who is a fan, and congratulations to anyone who supports the Eagles. Not me, I'm a Pats fan. Fuck the Eagles. Pats fan because obviously I spent a lot of time in that area of America when I was younger. Here we are for the starting grid of the second race, and it is Siltala in first, Langstadler in second, Thorejo third, Couch fourth, Van der Hart in fifth, and Kabinski in sixth. So, all of the continental Europeans and Couch. We are away, and immediately you'd expect, there goes Thorejo on the amazing McLaren start. Does he manage to jump the R34? The R34 is putting up a good fight, to be fair, on the drag race down to turn one, but it is Ruben Thorejo who does take the lead there, as you would expect. That R34 has got a seriously good launch, though, I think it's fair to say. Not bad whatsoever. Oh, contact there, though, between Siltala and Thorejo. Siltala just lifting off that time round just to let Thorejo back through, and now Couch benefits the most off of that, and oh, he spun round. Couch has spun round there just in the background. You can see him through the trees, but we'll just focus on the front there. But oh, it looked like he was making a lovely sneaky little move there, but could not do what he wanted to do. And Thorejo on the mediums as well, so he did win last week. Yeah, Thorejo, he is leading this race, but he's on the medium tyres, and if you personally want my pick, it's going to be Van der Hart, who's going to pick up some very quick positions. He just needs to pass Siltala, and he's in a very nice position indeed, and that's exactly what he's doing. There goes Van der Hart down the inside. Tyler Davison as well on the inside of Adam Hands. And Davison is on the mediums, so Van der Hart is on the fastest tyre of all of these, and he is rapidly catching up to Ruben Thorejo. This is no challenge whatsoever for Stein at the moment. Stein obviously already won a race this season. Looking for another one. But let's not talk about that yet. It's only lap 1. He's already on the back of the Spaniard. And this is getting customary of GTRC, but what happened to Dominic Kabinski? Where is he? 12th. So Dominic getting himself involved in some kind of incident early on in the race. Once again, as he usually does. And 9 times out of 10, that incident is not his fault. Van der Hart is just catching up. He's right on the bumper of the Spaniard, and he's just taken that bumper and said, screw your bumper, I'm going for your door card. But not quite. Was side by side through there though. And now Van der Hart has another chance, and Thorejo surely can't fight this one for too long, and he can't. So the Dutchie up in front now. Oh, but Thorejo is going back on him. Van der Hart takes that superior grip of the softs and actually gives him the middle finger. Thorejo, though, not letting off. Thorejo forced to the outside for this great overtaking corner. Tyler Davison, though, is looming in the background. Oh, late move from Stein van der Hart, very, very late on the brakes. He does a good job there, gets the car stopped, and he is now leading the race once more. Tyler Davison's giving Ruben Thorejo a little bit of pressure now. Something happened to Stein there. Oh, Stein. Yeah, something happened to Stein there. I'm not really too sure what happened. He might have let Ruben back through, but in doing that, he's let Tyler Davison back through. Now it's Jake Witchell is right up in this one as well. P4, I'm assuming Will Sutters is just behind him too. Ruben and Tyler fighting hard for this one. Tyler will come out on top of this. Stein van der Hart, though, right behind the two of them, and the question is Ruben going to go for the move into turn 1? He is going for the move into turn 1. Pulls to the inside. He's got his windscreen wiper going for some reason. That makes the move look easy, but can he cover the next part of the corner? No, he can't as Tyler Davison goes through. We are 2 by 2 going through there. Jake Witchell looks to be making an overtake on Stein van der Hart. He's 3 wide through the tunnel, and it is Jake Witchell on the inside of that 3 wide. They all stay on track just about. Ruben Thorejo kicking up a bit of dirt there, and it is still Jake Witchell, Stein van der Hart side by side. Oh, little tap from Stein, and there's almost a spin from Jake, and now Will Sutters has get himself involved here. Will Sutters just made the move on Jake Witchell. Where has he? They're still side by side, trading paint on their door cards, or on their door cards on their doors. The door cards on the inside. Jake Witchell has made a big step up to the front few positions. He's now going for the inside on Ruben Thorejo, and it looks like Will Sutters is trying to push him along. Now they're fighting once again. Door banging all the way down through into this next corner, and it is Jake Witchell who has the inside, and surely Will Sutters won't be able to pull around the outside, and he can't. Stein van der Hart, what happened to Ruben? They've both managed to get Ruben. Maybe I missed that, but they both managed to get Ruben. Now it's Stein van der Hart is the next one up the road, and then ahead of him, Tyler Davison. Stein will be under heavy pressure from Jake Witchell in a moment. Jake Witchell on the soft tyre as well, might I add. So he is fully unleashed, full potential. Can Stein on the softs beat Jake on the softs? The easy answer is no, but you never know how these things work. We're on to lap 4 now. Jake Witchell looks to be the man in control of, could be the race lead in a couple of laps time. He's showing some impressive pace so far this race. Stein van der Hart is all over the back of Tyler Davison, and Stein looking for the move, but he can't make it around the outside there. Can he go for the switchback? Oh, it looks like he's worked off a little bit. He has got a nose in, and Tyler has to give him space. And that nose is still very much there. But now Witchell has a nose into Stein, and Witchell around the outside of 2. Can he do it? Around the outside of 2. He takes the race lead. No, he doesn't. Stein still ahead, side by side with Tyler Davison. So Witchell tried something really ballsy there. Did not work, but now Stein van der Hart is your new race leader. Just ahead of Tyler Davison and Jake Witchell. Tyler, is he going to go for the move? Stein's leaving the inside open for Tyler. Is that a mistake? Tyler can go for it if he wants to, and Tyler is going for it. Oh, very late braking from Jake Witchell. Jake Witchell has fluffed that up entirely, and now he's lost a position to Will Sutters. Tyler Davison's just retaken the race lead. We have a four-way fight for the lead this time round. 2 Hondas, 2 Supras. And Sutters goes for the move on Stein. Little bump through that corner and hasn't made the move fully. I believe he's just let Stein back through on that one, so good sportsmanship. There's 3 wide there, and Witchell gets sandwiched a little bit into that one. Very slow on the exit there. It's Stein van der Hart, and Witchell has just made 2 moves in one corner exit. He had a very nice run through there, and you saw that one come from a million miles away. It was not, he didn't have any cars in the way, took the Optimum line, and what an exit Witchell got. So now all Witchell needs to do is just leave those 2 behind him and go for Tyler. Jake Witchell is thundering along. Stein under pressure from Sutters in the background. Stein van der Hart is definitely feeling that pressure. But he should know he's got the superior tyre. If he just gets his head down and focuses, he can go quicker than Will Sutters. I've got to take another drink. Stein goes defensive. Sutters takes the outside and then switches back to the inside last second. He's going to have to brake later than Stein, does he? He does brake later than Stein, but Stein has a very nice line on that outside. His superior tyres, but not enough to beat Sutters that time round. Sutters is up into the top 3. Stein doing his best to keep with him, but we'll just look back a little bit as there is close fighting going on here. Kabinski trying to chase down Thorejo. Thorejo had a very nice start, but it's just fallen back ever since. Does not seem to be the track for that car, let alone on the medium tyres. Kabinski goes for that inside line. It's not really the right move though, because it turns into the outside of this one, but Thorejo's made that one easy for him. Does not need to drive too aggressively. Now they are behind Easton, who is on his medium tyres for the night. You'd imagine that they might clear Easton soon, or certainly Kabinski might. Someone who's quietly having a nice race though is Sam Siltala up in P5, just ahead of these lot. But someone we will look at is the front 2. As Jake Witchell is right on the back of Tyler Davison, and this is where that tyre advantage comes in massively. Here comes Jake Witchell. Tyler covers the inside a little bit. Surely Tyler knows from battling Chubbs that the best way of defending that corner is giving no space on that inside line whatsoever. So Witchell goes to the outside, but he's not letting Tyler pull across fully. And now Witchell goes far to the outside, and then it's cutting back inside, but Tyler's right there, so the defending move works perfectly. And Witchell forced to sit behind him for a couple more corners till he gets another opportunity. Jake Witchell might be starting to get a little bit frustrated with Tyler Davison. Shouldn't let that frustration get to him. There's plenty of laps left to go. They can afford to fight for a little bit longer. Here comes Witchell once again on Tyler Davison. But he isn't quite close enough to make the move into this corner, and certainly not the best corner to make the move into. Can he do it into the tunnel? Tunnel would really take Tyler off guard, and Tyler knows that. He's gone defensive. Is it too defensive perhaps? Witchell tries it around the outside. Again, just squeezed out by Tyler. This must be starting to get really frustrating for Jake Witchell, who knows he has the superior tyres and knows he is quicker at this point in the race. Surely Witchell will not wait around for much longer. He hasn't been waiting around, he's just been getting stuck up behind Tyler Davison. Witchell's got to try something different. Try some unexpected move that Tyler isn't expecting to see. Tyler's doing some very orthodox defending at the moment. Once again, Tyler's trying to move back to the outside, and Witchell's already there, and they're banging door cards all the way down that straight. I don't really understand what Tyler's doing at the moment, because he is trying to push Witchell out to that outside line, but Witchell's not budging. And just because you want to go there doesn't mean that you can force your opponent to go there, you know what I mean? So that's something else that Witchell will probably be getting quite frustrated at. And if it continues, it is very report-worthy. Witchell pulls ahead on the exit of that corner and goes defensive into the chicane. And maybe this time Witchell is finally ahead of him as Tyler Davison gets... Is he spun round? I think he was spun round a little bit there. Certainly Will Sutters did not take that overtake there. So I think he was spun round a little bit there. But Stijn van 't Hart looked to be caught up in that one too. And now he has Dominic Kubinski breathing down his neck. But Jake Witchell with a 2-second advantage now. And that looked like a very frustrating fight that he had to put up with Tyler Davison there. But now the fight seems to be for P4 as Che Easton is being dragged along by Dominic Kubinski and Stijn van 't Hart. Are all on equal tyres, but Sutters is on the mediums, so this might become a fight for P3. Stijn, sorry, apologies for the break in talking. Stijn catching up to Sutters now. Let's hope for a fight, because this looks like it could become a stalemate. Sliding in the background there from someone, but not a spin, just seemed to have gotten caught up a little bit. That might have been Adam. Stijn van 't Hart is all over the back of Will Sutters, and a continuation of the battle that's been going on pretty much the whole race now. Stijn with a new personal best, so 150.9. Almost a second off Witchell in equal conditions. Just shows the pace that Witchell has. Stijn is right on the back of Will Sutters, and it's his chance to make the move. Oh, he goes very defensive there, Will Sutters. Went very, very defensive to the point where he went too slow into the entry of that corner. Don't want to be doing that, Will. It's really put Stijn out of sync there. So maybe that was the plan. But now Stijn is tucked up right into the rear of Will Sutters, getting the advantage from the slipstream. He's going to go for a dive bomb, maybe. Waits for a better opportunity, though he does brake very late there. Much later than Sutters did. Easton and Kubinski in the background are battling. Easton taking Kubinski that time round. We are finishing off the penultimate lap. And it is still the battle for P3 that we are watching. Oh, someone in the background there. Who's that? Luke Clark. What's happened to Luke Clark? He seemed like he had a really bad one there. Beached on the corner or something. Hans is losing lots of position. Oh no, Hans has just regained a position, I'm pretty sure. We're still watching Sutters versus Stein. We're on the last lap now. The battle for the lead is not as close. Once Witchell took that lead, he's just run away with it. It was a frustrating one earlier on, but Simon Tahart almost losing it on that corner, and he has picked himself up a penalty, so this is game over for Stein, but can he keep P4 is the next question. Stein's got a 1.5 second gap between himself and Easton. Easton must know that there's a penalty there for Stein van der Hart. Stein's driven a very nice race so far. Can he keep a good position out of this one? A penalty surely won't help, but doesn't seem like the gap's coming down too much between him and Easton. And now Stein doing his best he can, but we know how this one's probably going to end. It looks like Stein might be able to keep that P4, so we'll just jump up to the race leader, who drove a valiant race, I think it's fair to say. Jake Witchell, coming from further back down the grid, had to fight hard against Tyler Davison. It certainly did not look the cleanest of battles between those two, to be completely honest, but it was Jake Witchell that came out on top. He's had the pace all race, certainly more pace than everyone else on track, and he's dominated the moment he got into the lead. Jake Witchell now coming into the final two corners for what will be the last time in this race, and one of the last times tonight. Rounds the final corner, gets the exit right, but he's got no pressure around him, and he takes the victory for race 2 and his first win of the night. Jake Witchell is your race winner. Tyler Davison defending hard, P2. Will Sutters 3rd, Tyne van der Hart 4th, Jay Easton 5th, Dominic Kabinski just behind him in 6th. Adam Hans does come home 7th, and it's Scholt Langstadler, Yannick de Kuiper, Ruben Thorejo and Sam Stiltelaar all the way down to P11, and then it's Luke Clark who rounds out the top 12. He'll be starting pole in the next race, and Couch has had some kind of nightmare tonight. If you look at the times, he had some kind of issue on lap 5, lap 7. Yeah, not been a good one for Couch, and lap 8 as well. But he's getting his screen time now, weaving down the straight. So clearly having fun still. As I said after the first race, it can still only go up from here. So nothing to be ashamed about whatsoever. Unfortunately, though, it does mean he will not be starting on pole for the next race, because we have 12 drivers tonight, and it is only the top 12. Still, a good job from Couch for sticking it through. A lot of drivers would have quit after this point, so he stuck it through, and it looks like he's having a good time nonetheless. Comes round to the final two corners. Go on, do some style for us. He's going to drift it. Drift it. Yes! Oh, kinda. He helped it a little bit. There was a slide there. We'll count that. And he got a penalty for a good measure. We'll count that as a drift. It was fine. It wasn't the best drift I've ever seen, but we'll count it. There you go. There's your race winner, Jake Witchell. Up 7 positions. But that was an interesting race, to say the least. There is your finishing time, your finishing order as well. Jake Witchell was the quickest of the lot, just ahead of Tyler Davison and Will Sutters in P3. Stein van der Hart doing the best he can to try and get another podium, but unfortunately did not end up that way, especially with a penalty at the very break. Jay Easton comes out 5th, just ahead of Dominic Kabinski. Looked like that was a close fight at the end there. Adam Hans, that's a P7 for him. He was fighting Scholt Langstadler for a lot of that race. He was in 8th. Yannick de Kuiper in 9th, just ahead of Ruben Thorejo. And then it's Sam Stiltelaar in 11th, and Luke Clark, after some kind of mistake during that one, he's down in 12th, and Couch in last place. But his lap times were not too far off of Luke Clark's, so the Couch just made mistake after mistake by the looks of it, but he's definitely got the pace to contend. So keep an eye on him in this next race. He might be able to do something. Yes, he's starting last, but he might be able to do something. Any position that isn't last will be an improvement. So definitely keep an eye on the newbie. Siltala leaving and rejoining for whatever reason. Let's get going soonish, because I've seen how long these races take, and I'm gonna have to go very fast to work if I want to make it on time tonight. So let's go quick. I'd like to finish the stream instead of just leaving now and saying, "Oh no, I'm going to be late." But it's been an exciting night of racing. Very good one. But we're on for the final race of the night, which is once again a reverse grid race. It's the rolling start race. So no more standing starts. It's a rolling start and night time. Everyone's favourite. Clark. We're watching the man on screen right now. That is Luke Clark. Look at him go. Just leading out Will Susses. I'm trying to find things to talk about while we wait for the next race to start. The reason it does take a long while to start is Gran Turismo doesn't have a reverse grid setting, and because it's a custom reverse grid as well, Chubbs needs to manually set where all the 13 drivers start, needs to make sure it's all perfect to where everyone should be starting, but Chubbs gets it right 99% of the time. We very, very, very rarely have any issues. And he's gotten good at this lobby hosting stuff, Chubbs. Obviously hasn't been... Well, I say he hasn't been doing it for long. He's been doing it for a couple of seasons now. And it was certainly a couple of mistakes at the beginning of it all, but he's gotten the hang of it. Always got the right settings, and the grids are always set just perfectly. So from experience, though, it's not easy to set up a race lobby. I mean, yeah, it's easy to set up the settings beforehand and save them and load them, but if anything needs to change, then you're screwed. But here we are. Luke Clark is the man on pole. It looks rather ominous where he is right now, doesn't it? Good camera angle. There's Luke Clark as he leads out Sam Siltala and Ruben Thorejo, his teammate. There's Yannick de Kuiper, Zoltan Langstadler and Adam Hans, but we are about to get away, and there goes Luke Clark. The race starts. Luke with a very, very nice launch. Siltala, though, also has an equally as good launch, and that is Thorejo, Luke's teammate, already bearing down on him as we enter into turn one for one of the last times tonight. The final race of the night has officially begun. It's Luke Clark doing a good job pulling out the early gap to Siltala. Obviously both of them on the soft tyre. Ruben Thorejo as well on the soft tyre, used the mediums in his first two, and in the background that is Yannick and Super both fighting hard, and Super managed to get the jump on Yannick, so that's Zoltan Langstadler up into the top four. Adam Hans already fighting hard with Dominik Kubinski and loses the position against Dominik Kubinski, so Kubinski's up into sixth now. But Che Easton's making some very quick ground as well on the soft tyres, and this is someone to watch out for. He's got a lot of pace tonight, and starting on the soft tyres, that is not a bad place to be whatsoever. But is that a penalty up ahead, did I see? No, it wasn't. Someone else has got a penalty. I thought it was Luke Clark for a moment had a penalty, which is good for him that it isn't. But now it's an LCR 1-2 at the moment, as Ruben Torrejo just overtakes Sam Siltala there. Then Yannick de Kuiper, P4. Noah, hello. Hello, mate. How are you? Yannick tries around the outside of Siltala, but can't quite make it stick. But already, Easton has made the move once again on Kabinski. Sporting Nova. Well, you'd be pleased to know that Yannick had a good qualifying tonight, had a very nice qualifying, and last week he actually got his first podium. So he's been doing good at the moment. He is currently starting 4th. It's the last reverse grid of the night. We're just watching Che Easton at the moment as he leads out Dominic Kabinski, but there is still fighting going up ahead, and it is Yannick de Kuiper versus Sam Siltala still. And Yannick goes for the move on the inside in the tunnel. Siltala saw that one come in though. Just widened his line a little bit, but slowed him down a little bit on the exit. Yannick tries around the outside, and then the switchback isn't managing to make the move yet on Siltala. Siltala's doing a decent job of defending. Oh, he's gone wide there, and that's left a very big gap for Che Easton to go into, and Che Easton's moved his way up into 4th now. And can Che Easton have the run through that corner to even catch up to Siltala? He's got a lot of overspeed going down this straight. Tucks into the slipstream, goes for the inside on Siltala. Siltala doesn't look to be making this one too difficult for Easton. Easton knows what to do at this corner. He's shown it all night. And there goes Siltala. Siltala away from those two, should I say. Easton makes the move, and now it's side by side with de Kuiper and Siltala. But still, Siltala stays ahead of the Dutchman. Oh, de Kuiper's going for the move. Oh dear, that was a late one. Siltala did a good job avoiding that one, but that was a late one. De Kuiper, I feel like he was entitled to that one. Siltala didn't really see it coming. Luckily, it avoided contact. But what the fuck has happened to Dominic Kabinski? Sorry, he's just fallen back again. And there goes Tyler Davison on de Kuiper. Tyler Davison on the softs once again. Obviously used his mediums in the last race. But order up front, it's still an LCR 1-2. And the LCR boys pulling away, a gap for about 4 seconds to the lead. Chubbs has to overcome. Can he do it? Does Yannick have a teammate? I believe Yannick's teammate is Tyler, but Tyler doesn't have a livery. I think. I'm not too sure. I think Tyler is his teammate. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I believe he is. I should know this as a commentator. I believe Tyler is his teammate. Which is not an awful teammate to have, but Tyler hasn't showed up to about half the rounds, so... Saying that though, he's just done beautiful little switchback on Che Easton there. Nice work from him. But Easton has got the perfect chance to go back, and it's maybe a bit too early to make the move there, don't you think? Certainly a bit too early. But these two fought hard in race 1. And once again, Tyler door banging down that straight. He really wants to go for that outside line once he's taken the inside. And I think he needs to understand that the car on the outside obviously doesn't have to move out of the way for him, because he was doing the same to Witchell. But Tyler does pull out ahead on that one. But still the gap is increasing between himself and the leader. So Luke Clark, I mean, this is the first time Luke Clark has had some clean air to himself in this race where he's been out front, and he is not doing bad. Doing a decent job, but so is Ruben Thorejo with the current fastest lap. You have to say, LCR is kind of been a quiet one tonight. They've both been quite quiet, not really done much, but they're doing something now. Tyler Davison does have the pace to catch them, but the gap being 4 seconds to the leader, you have to say it's not going to be easy for Tyler by any means. Tyler sets the new fastest lap, 50.1. again, we know there's more pace in that car, as Easton set a 49.6, I believe it was, in the first race. So we know there's a chance for more pace out of that Supra, but you have to say, that is a big mountain to overcome for Tyler Davison. Catching is one thing as well, but overtaking is another. And that McLaren is a difficult car to overtake. You might be able to get Thorejo, but Luke Clark is going to be a difficult one to beat. Jake Witchell as well, having a bit of a quiet one, obviously starting in P12. He's had a lot of positions to overcome so far, so 6th is not a bad place to be, starting from 12th, I have to say. Adam Hands as well, just having another quiet race. Siltala has fallen back quite far from the original start, just ahead of Simon van der Haar and Stein's teammate Langstadler. And Langstadler's being pushed along by Kabinski, and Will Sutters is not having an easy one. And Will Sutters goes for the inside there. Sutters, tries the inside on Kabinski, and Kabinski gives him the room. I thought Sutters was going to go way deeper than he did. Kabinski, again, struggling tonight, like he has done for a while now. But he's just lacked the pace tonight, whereas in other races he seems to have had a lot more pace than he does. But Kabinski versus Van der Haar. The night gets darker. Yeah, these lot are all just kind of getting bunched up behind behind Sam Siltala, and Noah seems to be quite happy that Will is at the back. Well, I mean, Will came, I think, 2nd or 3rd in the last race, so hasn't really made up the ground that Jake Witchell has, as Jake Witchell says 49.8, but there you go, there's Tyler Davison. That's the pace I was talking about that Supra is capable of. Jake Witchell's just on the back of Yannick, and you know, no disrespect to Yannick, but you can't imagine it's going to be difficult as Jake Witchell gets caught up a little bit how slow that exit was. And Witchell up into the top 5. Yeah, you couldn't imagine that one was going to be too difficult for Witchell, but Yannick doing a decent job so far, still in the top 6. But Tyler Davison's already on the back of Ruben Thorejo, so I said he'd catch Ruben Thorejo, but the gap for Tyler Davison to catch the lead is still 2.8 seconds, so it is coming down. But as I said, catching is one thing, overtaking is another, and Ruben is the easier of the two targets. Let's see how hard Ruben fights him. Ruben knows that he has to fight to defend his teammate. And Ruben goes for the inside. It's hard on the braking. Ruben does a nice job there. McLaren has some of the worst brakes, but he's done a good job getting that car stopped. And now side by side up over the crest. And surely Ruben's got to back out of this one. Oh, this might spell tears, and Ruben's in the wall. Oh, there you go. I said this might spell tears. I saw that coming from a million miles away. I said he should have backed out of that one. So unlucky for Ruben Thorejo, but he's only down in 6th. Has not lost too much. He might be able to catch Yannick de Kuiper again, but that's really unlucky for the McLaren driver. Just a lapse of judgment there, I feel. Tyler Davison driving very aggressively to get that move, but he's now got Che Easton to contend with once again. Like in race 1, Che Easton and Tyler Davison might be having a little scrap again, and Tyler Davison's let Che Easton through there. Interesting, very interesting. I have is Tyler waiting for Ruben? He's slowed down a lot. He is he's waiting for Ruben, so it was an aggressive one from Tyler. I'm not sure if he had to wait for Ruben on that one, to be honest. But it's very nice sportsmanship shown from Tyler to wait for Ruben. I think it's fair to say. He certainly didn't have to wait for Ruben, but he did, so good job from the Brit. Nice sportsmanship. Witchell has picked himself up a half-second penalty, but all that will do is slow down his charge towards Chubbs. It's now Che Easton with a 2.5 second gap to Luke Clark. Can he do it? Can he overcome that gap? Obviously not in the straights, he's not going to do it. Che Easton, is he flying? Luke Clark has been on some pretty nice pace so far, but he hasn't set a single lap time in the 49s, whereas Che Easton is right there, right in the 49s. It's going to be difficult for Luke Clark to keep this one, but as I've been saying the whole race, catching is one thing, overtaking is another. I don't know who was the first to say that. I know I'm quoting it off of someone, but I don't know who was the first to say that. It's just kind of like a racing idiom, really. So Tyler leads out Adam, and Adam quite far ahead of Kabinski. Where's Sutters? Well, Sutters is not really having the easiest one. He's managed to get ahead of Bow Project 1 cars, but Bow Project 1 cars obviously serving a penalty here by the looks of it, but he's still stuck behind Siltala, so not finding it easy. Obviously, Sutters using his second set of mediums tonight because he is a race winner from last week. The reigning champion really struggling to find his footing here tonight. He's certainly got pace. He'll have double mediums again next week, bear in mind. Which doesn't go against his strategy. His strategy isn't to win too many races, just to get positions kind of further up the midfield. But he's been quick enough lately where he's winning regardless. He doesn't get a choice. You have to say, Will Sutters, since the recent BOP change, has been very, very fast. But tonight, or especially right now, really is not displaying it. But he has won a race earlier tonight. And is he going for the move on Siltala? Yeah, there you go. So while I was watching him, felt the move come in. Sutters up into 9th place. Check up front, and Che Easton is catching Luke Clark, but is it enough? He only needs to catch like another second, and he'll be within realistic slipstream range. But slipstream doesn't, you know, the slipstream doesn't really do much compared to a McLaren. Easton's really got to pull out some seriously good pace here. He's been in the 49s for the last couple of laps. Luke Clark had a really poor last lap, and it seems like he's not having a too brilliant lap this time round either. So maybe this is Easton. Obviously the former LCR driver. There's history. LCR, we all joked around, used to stand for Luke Chubbs Racing, but where's the Chubbs in LCR now? Chubbs was disowned in a brutal, horrible, disgusting way. Violent way. It was horrible. He was curb stomped, and I saw him crying. It was horrible what Luke Clark did to Chubbs. You go get him, Chubbs. Of course, I'm joking. The reason why they're not teammates this season, bear in mind, is simply just because Luke wanted to use the McLaren, but Chubbs doesn't have the McLaren. But Ruben does, so that's why those two are teammates this season. Sure, Chubbs is not letting this one go. That's his former teammate up ahead. And he's catching quickly. He's not got much longer left to do it though. We're on lap 8 of 10. It looks like Easton's going to have a very nice chance at his first race win of the season. It'll be his first race win in 2 seasons. Obviously didn't win at all last season. We had 13 different race winners last season, and Che Easton was not one of them. And look at that, going purple is Che Easton. So he is flying at the moment. I've got to say, by the way, it's quite stunning that Che Easton wasn't one of those race winners last season. You had to have 13 different winners, and Che Easton not being one of them. Che was actually in the position to win 3 races last season and spun out in all of them while he was leading, on the final couple laps as well. So let's not jinx it. Let's hope he doesn't do the same again here, because he's got serious pace. Arguably more than Sutters. Sutters obviously set the pole in qualifying earlier tonight, but arguably he has more pace than Sutters. And he's absolutely going for it, but it seems Luke Clark has picked up the pace a little bit with a 50.1. Still not broken into the 49s, has the McLaren driver. We're getting into the twilight hour now. It is the penultimate lap of the race, and it's still Luke Clark who is leading. Just about to Che Easton. Che needs to pick it up a little bit, because Clark's picked his own game up. He's going faster and faster now. Che, if he wants any chance of getting that race lead, he needs to get within that slipstream range. Jake Witchell, last lap round, we missed that. Jake Witchell with a 1:49.4. That is the fastest lap of the evening. That is incredibly quick. Where has he pulled that time out of? impressive stuff from the Honda driver. The #1 team spirit car at the moment. He's doing a nice job, and he'd be happy to bring home a third. But someone who's also doing a very nice job is Yannick. Well, saying that, he's just lost a position to Tyler, and there's contact there between Tyler and Yannick. Yannick was doing a nice job, and he still is. P5 for Yannick, not too bad. He's been doing good a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, he got a P2 last week. He got a P4 the week before that. He's looks like he's about to get a P5, maybe. So Yannick has had a serious uptick in form, especially after the BOP change. But we are going through the final corner for the second to last time. And it is Luke Clark still leading, just half a second ahead of Che Easton. Can Che Easton do it? He missed out on the race win in the first race of the night. He looks like he's got another chance, and this time he's the chase car. Last time he was the lead car, and that's how he failed. He struggled through one corner and he lost it all. This time he is the man in the hot seat, or he's no longer the man in the hot seat. He is the man who gets the chance to take the hot seat. Less pressure, less stress. Che Easton, he's going for the move already down the inside in the tunnel, and Luke Clark wasn't expecting it, and Luke has nothing to do to compete against that. Che Easton takes the lead, but was that too early? It might have been too early for Che Easton, because now Luke Clark is going to have a run on the strongest section of the track for that McLaren, down the back straight. Che, come on, you've got to do this. Take this corner properly. We know you've been struggling all night here. It looks like he's done it well. He's taken that corner very well, and he's pulled out a gap on the McLaren. It's now 6/10. Che Easton might finally end the winless drought. Almost doing it earlier tonight, but this time it looked like he might be able to do it. He didn't win last season. He won both seasons before last season. It looks like he can finally win for the first time in months. Here comes Che Easton on the final lap. One of the last, that is the last overtaking point of the circuit, and Luke Clark is not close enough. Che's done an amazing job tonight. One of the fastest guys out on track. New fastest lap for Tyler Davison. We just saw that at 1:49, but Che Easton, as he comes through some of the last few corners for the last time, and Luke Clark, maybe it's tyre related. Maybe Luke has realised that Che has got this one. He does not need to push anymore, but Che Easton, Captain Chubbs, finally, after so long without a win, he finally does it. In the 515 outfit, beating his former teammate, beating his former team, as he takes home the win that was stolen from him at the very early end, or the very early parts of this evening. Che Easton is a race winner, finally. First win of the season. Luke Clark comes home second, Jake Witchell in third, and it's Tyler Davison who just about leads out his teammate Yannick Tecalipa. Ruben Thorejo sixth, Adam Hans seventh, Dominic Kavinsky eighth, Will Sutter's ninth. A really struggle for him, but his teammate had the complete and utter opposite. But Will Sutters takes home ninth. Steinman to Hart P10, Jolt Langstadler P11, Sam Siltler P12, and Couch, the newcomer, once again in P13. But you gotta say, what a win from Che Easton. It took him long enough. It definitely took him long enough. Did not win at all last season, but he's finally done it. And all it took was for him to join that 515 team just as that car was getting better. He's got the perfect car to do it now, and what pace he displayed all night tonight. I'm sure he is absolutely chuffed with that one. What a win. Well done, Che Easton. Congratulations. 7 positions he gained in that one. What a race from Captain Chubbs. He takes home his first race win of the season and his first race win in 2 seasons now. He did not win at all last season. The last time he won was DTM Round 1. DTM Season 2 Round 1. He got 2 wins at the French St. Croix track in the Porsche. It's taken him so long to get his next win, but he's finally done it. First winner 2025 as well in the GTRC. Good job from Che Easton. A good job as well from Luke Clark, who controlled that race from start and unfortunately not to finish, but an excellent job from Luke Clark. Just his car held him back there a bit, I think it's fair to say. He definitely had the pace. His car, on the other hand, did not. Jake Witchell, P3, Tyler Davison, P4, and Yannick Tecalipa, P5. Ruben Thorejo, P6, Adam Hans, P7, Dominic Kavinsky, once again, P8, not really showing much this race. P9 to Will Sutter's disappointing one, I think it's fair to say, after winning earlier on tonight. Steinman to Hart, finishes 10th, Stolt Langsadler P11, Sam Siltler P12, and the newcomer in his last race of the night in P13. But What an end. What an end. That was a very great end. And I'm really sorry to end this off quickly, but I do need to go to work in about 8 minutes. So I need to get ready for that. But everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you are new to the stream, subscribe to the channel. We do this every single Wednesday and more. I've started streaming and posting a lot more. So if you don't come just for this racing and you come for anything car related in general, then yeah. But this racing is the best stuff. This is certainly the stuff that you should come to this channel for. It's been an awesome night of racing tonight, and it's great to see Easton take his first win of the season, and then Witchell and Sutters take another one each. But yeah, cheers guys, we'll see you all next time, or this time next week.